So maybe you're thinking about Christmas a little differently this year. Christmas for two?
Hmm.
Maybe it's the first time you're thinking about being away from family for the holidays, or maybe you're just kind of curious about how other couples make it work.
Yeah.
Either way, we're doing a deep dive today based on some notes for a podcast episode we found all about creating new traditions and spending Christmas as a couple.
And one thing that's really fascinating is that a lot of couples are choosing to opt out of that whole big family Christmas thing.
Really?
Yeah. Instead, they're prioritizing like their own well-being and their connection as a couple.
That makes a lot of sense because the notes actually talk about how the holidays can be a major source of burnout.
For sure.
You know, with all the travel and the pressure to please everybody and the constant juggling act of family expectations.
Yeah, it's no wonder some couples just need a break.
Yeah.
It's like hitting a reset button.
Right.
Instead of just feeling drained by the holidays, they're using this time to recharge and reconnect with each other.
And the reasons for staying home seem to vary.
Oh, yeah, totally.
The notes mention everything from wanting to avoid those travel nightmares to needing a break from really intense family dynamics.
It's like choosing serenity over chaos.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not just about avoiding the negative stuff.
Right.
For some couples, it's a real chance to define their own holiday experience,
That's a good point.
especially for couples who are newly married or just starting out together.
Yeah, creating their own traditions and solidifying their bond as a couple.
Exactly.
I can see how that would be really meaningful.
Absolutely. It's a way of like declaring their independence and creating a space that's uniquely theirs.
Right.
But even with all that excitement of building new traditions, there's also that emotional side to think about.
Right, because even if you're excited about a quiet Christmas with your partner, I imagine there are probably some bittersweet feelings too,
Oh.
especially if it's your first time away from your usual family celebrations.
Yeah, the notes really highlight that push and pull, the excitement of new beginnings,
Yeah.
but also a little sadness, longing, and maybe even guilt about not being with loved ones.
Yeah, I think everyone experiences that FOMO, to some degree.
For sure.
Seeing all those perfect holiday gatherings on social media can make anyone question their choices.
Yeah, that FOMO is definitely real. But what's important is how couples navigate those feelings.
Right.
Open communication is key.
So instead of just saying, hey, I miss Grandma's pecan pie,
Yeah,
you actually have a real conversation about it.
exactly.
Like, what are we missing about being with our families, and how can we honor those traditions or feelings in our own way?
That's exactly it. It's about acknowledging and validating each other's emotions, even if you're not on the same page.
Right.
Maybe one person is all about a cozy Christmas for two, while the other is secretly grieving the loss of their annual family caroling tradition,
Yeah.
you know?
So it's less about agreeing on every single feeling and more about respecting and supporting each other's experiences.
Absolutely. And that leads us to the exciting part. How do couples actually create those meaningful new traditions together?
Right.
Because it's one thing to say, let's make our own traditions,
Yeah.
but then
It's like a blank canvas, right?
Exactly.
Where do you even begin?
Right?
Well, the episode notes actually offer some pretty good examples.
Yeah, they do.
From baking special treats to movie marathons and even outdoor adventures like ice skating or winter hikes.
The key is finding activities that reflect the couple's shared interests and values.
Yeah, like maybe they're both big foodies, so they plan a gourmet Christmas Eve feast.
Right.
Or they're both nature lovers, so they go for a scenic hike on Christmas morning.
It's about designing a Christmas that's truly reflective of who they are as a couple.
Right,
And it doesn't have to be anything elaborate or expensive.
right.
Sometimes the simplest traditions are the most meaningful.
Totally imagine this a quiet Christmas morning ritual where they wake up slowly, make pancakes together, sip coffee by the tree,
Oh, that's nice.
and just enjoy each other's company before the rest of the world is even awake.
That sounds so peaceful.
Right.
And it doesn't require fancy decorations or expensive gifts. It's just about savoring those quiet moments of connection.
And then for those who love to give back, there's always the option of volunteering together.
Oh, that's a wonderful way to embody the true spirit of the season.
Yeah.
And it can be a really fun bonding experience.
Yeah.
Imagine finding a local organization that resonates with their values and spending a few hours spreading some cheer.
Okay, so we've got cozy mornings, gourmet feasts, outdoor adventures, acts of service. There's something for everyone.
Yeah.
But let's get a little more specific.
Okay.
What about those couples who are facing their very first Christmas away from family? Any tips for navigating that?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, It's important to acknowledge that it's going to be an emotional roller coaster.
Oh, for sure.
There will be moments of excitement, but also some anxiety and maybe even a touch of homesickness.
So give yourself permission to feel all the feels right.
Exactly. Don't put pressure on yourselves to be perfectly happy or okay with the change.
Yeah.
And don't try to perfectly replicate your family's holiday traditions.
Yeah.
Instead, just focus on creating new experiences that feel authentic to you as a couple.
Like starting a brand new chapter in your Christmas story.
Right. And remember, it's okay to lean on your support system.
Yeah.
If you're feeling homesick, reach out to your family.
Good point.
Whether it's a phone call, a video chat, or even a heartfelt letter, those connections can make a big difference.
And don't forget about the power of a virtual holiday dinner.
Oh, that's a good one.
You can still share in the joy and traditions of your family, even from afar.
It's a great compromise,
Yeah.
It lets you participate in the festivities without the stress of travel or the logistics of a big gathering.
Plus, you can wear your comfy pajamas.
Exactly.
But seriously, those virtual connections can really help ease those feelings of homesickness and keep those family bonds strong.
They're a reminder that even though you're physically distant, you're still emotionally connected.
Yeah.
And that's what truly matters during the holidays.
So that first Christmas apart might feel a little strange at times, but it's also a chance to build something new and special with your partner.
For sure.
Who knows? Maybe this will be the start of a brand new cherished tradition for your relationship.
It's an opportunity to redefine what the holidays mean to you as a couple and create memories that are uniquely yours.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's pretty magical.
Speaking of magical, we got some more creative and heartwarming ideas coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Stay tuned because we're going to dive into some specific examples of traditions that couples are creating to make their Christmases away from family truly special.
Sounds good. Going through these notes, I was really struck by how many couples are choosing to embrace simplicity for their Christmas celebration.
Like they're saying, we don't need all the bells and whistles to make this special.
That's exactly. They're focusing on the essence of the holidays.
Yeah.
Connection, shared experiences, creating memories that will last a lifetime.
It's like that quiet Christmas morning ritual we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Picture this, waking up slowly with your partner, making pancakes together, sipping coffee by the tree, and just enjoying the peacefulness before the world wakes up.
That sounds idyllic.
Right.
And it really illustrates the beauty of a low-key Christmas, no pressure, no rushing, just pure enjoyment of each other's company.
And me, I'm all about those cozy vibes.
Me too.
So I absolutely love the idea of a Christmas Eve movie marathon, snuggling up on the couch with fuzzy blankets, a crackling fire, and a lineup of your favorite holiday film.
Oh, that's the perfect recipe for a relaxing and festive night in.
Totally.
Now, let's be honest, sometimes those cheesy holiday movies are exactly what you need to get into the spirit.
They definitely have their charm.
They do.
But for couples who prefer something a little more hands-on the notes, also mention getting crafty, with DIY Christmas decorations and homemade cards.
I love that it's a great way to personalize the holidays and infuse them with your own style.
Yeah, it's not about perfection. It's about the joy of creating something together.
And those imperfections often become the most cherished details.
Absolutely.
It's about weaving your own personal story into the holidays.
Which reminds me of another idea from the notes, creating a new Christmas tradition centered around storytelling.
Oh, wow.
It could be sharing childhood memories of Christmases past, or reading aloud from a favorite holiday book, or even making up your own fantastical Christmas tale.
That's a beautiful way to connect on a deeper level and learn more about each other.
I bet some amazing stories would come out of that.
I think so, too.
They might even be inspired to start writing down their own Christmas stories every year.
Oh, love that.
And create a collection of precious memories they can revisit and cherish.
Now that's a tradition I could get behind.
Right.
It's like building their own library of love and laughter.
Right.
Filled with tales that are unique to their relationship.
And for the adventurous couples out there, Christmas can be the perfect time for a winter wonderland getaway.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine hitting the slopes for some skiing or snowboarding, or exploring a snow-dusted forest, or even just building a snowman in a cozy cabin.
It's a chance to escape the craziness of the holiday season and create their own adventure.
Yeah, filled with unexpected discoveries and shared moments of wonder.
Speaking of adventure, why not take a Christmas road trip?
Oh, fun.
Pack up the car with snacks, holiday tunes, and a sense of adventure and hit the open road.
Sounds amazing.
Exploring new destinations, making pit stops at charming towns along the way.
It's a chance to create their own unique Christmas story.
Right.
A journey that's all about the shared experience and the joy of discovery.
One thing that keeps coming up for me is this idea of intentionality.
Hmm.
It's not just about spending Christmas away from family. It's about making a conscious choice to create an experience that reflects your values as a couple.
I couldn't agree more. It's about being mindful of how you want to spend your time and energy during the holidays
Right.
and making decisions that align with your vision for a meaningful celebration.
And recognizing that there's no one right way to do Christmas.
Exactly.
What matters is that you and your partner feel happy, connected, and loved.
It's about creating a holiday experience that feels authentic to you, whether that's embracing simplicity, indulging in your passions, or going on some big adventure.
And even though we've been focusing on couples spending Christmas away from their families, I think a lot of these ideas could be incorporated into any holiday celebration.
Oh, totally. It's about taking those core values of connection, intentionality, and creativity and weaving them into your holidays no matter who you're with.
So whether you're sipping hot cocoa by the fire, singing Christmas carols with your family, or exploring a snowy wonderland, the important thing is to be present and savor those moments and create memories that will warm your heart long after the holidays are over.
And speaking of heartwarming moments, we've got even more inspiring examples of couples' Christmas traditions to share.
Yeah.
But first, let's take a quick pause and we'll be right back.
So we're back and ready for more ways couples are making Christmas meaningful when they're away from family.
And it's really amazing how they're taking something that could be a challenge and turning it into an opportunity.
Yeah, instead of feeling limited by not having that big family gathering,
Right.
they're using it as a chance to really personalize the holidays.
It's like they're taking control of their Christmas experience
Yeah.
and making it something that truly reflects their values as a couple.
Exactly. And you know what really stood out to me is how many of these couples are incorporating acts of service into their Christmas celebrations.
Really?
It's really heartwarming. It speaks to that deeper meaning of the holidays,
Right.
giving back, spreading kindness, making a difference.
The notes mention things like volunteering at shelters or donating toys, but there are so many ways to give back.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It could be as simple as baking cookies for your neighbors.
Oh, that's a good one. Or writing holiday cards to seniors in a nursing home, or just offering a helping hand to someone in need.
It's about shifting that focus from receiving to giving.
Right.
And that can be so rewarding, especially during a season that's so commercially driven.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be some grand gesture.
Right.
Sometimes the smallest acts of kindness have the biggest impact.
Like leaving a nice note for the delivery person or helping an elderly neighbor with their groceries.
Right. Or just smiling at a stranger on the street.
Yeah, those little moments of connection can really make someone's day.
And speaking of connection, we can't forget that even for couples who are spending Christmas away from family, those family ties are still so important.
Of course, it's not about cutting off those relationships at all.
Right.
It's about finding creative new ways to stay connected and honor those bonds from a distance.
And technology makes that so much easier these days.
Oh, yeah, totally.
We talked about virtual holiday dinners and video calls, but there are so many other ways to stay close.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They could send personalized care packages with homemade treats and thoughtful gifts.
I love that.
Or create a shared online photo album where everyone can add their favorite holiday memories.
That's such a good idea.
They could even play games online together or have a virtual family movie night.
There are endless possibilities.
Right. There are so many ways to stay connected and share in the joy of the season, even when you're miles apart.
And sometimes those virtual connections actually lead to deeper conversations
Yeah, that's a good point.
without the distractions of a big gathering.
Right.
You might actually find yourself having more meaningful conversations with your loved ones.
It's like the distance actually creates space for a different kind of closeness.
Yeah, one that's built on intention and genuine connection.
Exactly. And, sometimes that distance can also help you appreciate your family even more.
Oh, absolutely. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, right?
Right.
When you're not always surrounded by your family, you start to notice and appreciate those little things about them.
Yeah, those little quirks and traditions that you might have taken for granted before.
Exactly. And then when you do see each other again, those reunions are all the sweeter.
It's like you're rediscovering each other.
It really is.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Christmas for two, I think the main takeaway is this. It's not about isolation, it's about liberation.
Yeah, it's about embracing the freedom to create a holiday experience that's truly your own.
One that reflects your values, your priorities, and your bond as a couple.
It's about saying yes to new possibilities
New traditions.
and new ways of connecting with the people you love, both near and far.
And remembering that the true magic of Christmas isn't about the presents or the decorations.
It's about the laughter and those special moments.
Exactly. So if you're spending Christmas away from family this year, don't be afraid to make it your own.
This could be the start of a whole new chapter in your holiday story.
One that's full of joy, connection, and memories that will last a lifetime.
Absolutely.
Well, that's it for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
And happy holidays, everyone.